Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about one of the fastest growing suburbs in the upstate of South Carolina, Boiling Springs, South Carolina. If you're moving to the upstate and you don't know what area or what suburb that you're interested in, take the quiz in the description below, and that's going to tell you what area might be perfect for you. Then after that, I can help you decide if it is and what neighborhoods we should look at. So Boiling Springs, South Carolina is definitely the biggest suburb of Spartanburg, South Carolina. It is right along the I-85 corridor and the 26 corridor. That means that you have access to towns like Landrum, South Carolina, Hendersonville, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, all of those towns within just a short drive, less than an hour. You also have access to beautiful lakes very close to Boiling Springs, South Carolina, like Lake Cooley, Lake Blaylock, and most of all, Lake Bowen. Boiling Springs, South Carolina is a very tight-knit community. It has seen an absolute explosion in the last 10 years and gone from a very small hometown to a very bustling suburb. Boiling Springs recently, and most excitingly, got a new SuperTarget. It used to be the location of the old Boiling Springs 9th grade campus where my grandfather went to high school. That's now gone, and there's a huge SuperTarget there just across from Boiling Springs First Baptist Church. Boiling Springs just got a new Jersey Mike's. We're getting a McAllister's. We have a new Publix. There's so many restaurants being built, it's almost hard to keep up. But we also have staples that have been here for years, like Capri's, which is Italian food, Manny's, which is a family-owned Italian food restaurant / Greek food restaurant. We have a new bakery in Boiling Springs called Sissy Sweets. Individuals with special needs work there, and it's just an awesome place to support, kind of like Benny and Bo's in Charleston. Boiling Springs also is very centered around our kids and most of all, our high school. Boiling Springs High School's mascot is the Boiling Springs Bulldog, and Bulldog Pride has been a major part of this community for going on 50 years. My grandfather went to Boiling Springs High School, my mom went to Boiling Springs High School, I went to Boiling Springs High School, and I'll be the first to tell you that alone makes this an amazing place to live. Boiling Springs is in the middle of Spartanburg County School District 2. So in some places in Boiling Springs, you're zoned to go to Boiling Springs High School, most places. And there are some parts of Boiling Springs where you may be zoned to go to Chesney High School. In any event, no matter what you're looking for, Boiling Springs might be the place for you because there are rural neighborhoods. There are still some large tracts of land on the outskirts of Boiling Springs where you can have a house with a couple acres. There are new construction communities like Pine Valley by D.R. Horton. So if you're looking to have a brand new house with all the amenities that come with that, Pine Valley, or maybe some of the Dan Ryan Builders or Stanley Martin Builder homes that are coming up might be right for you. Other things that Boiling Springs has are some really beautiful established neighborhoods that appeal to almost anybody. The first one that comes to mind is Sterling Estates. Sterling Estates has several different phases, but it is smack in the middle of Boiling Springs. It backs up to a small strip mall that has a Mexican restaurant, El Mexicano, Manny's Italian restaurant, Sissy Sweets Bakery, a FedEx, so it's very convenient to several small stores and restaurants there. But it also feels like it's off on its own because the front of the neighborhood is acre-sized lots, sometimes half an acre, sometimes acre-sized lots, of homes built in the 90s and the early 2000s. These are brick, more palatial homes. It feels like you're more out in one of the larger neighborhoods in one of the further out suburbs, but in fact, you're 2 minutes to a brand new Target. So it's pretty awesome. There are different phases of Sterling Estates. So the front of the neighborhood, which was actually built and developed by my family, is larger lots, the brick style homes, and they are going to come at a premium because they just aren't building things like that anymore. The back in the neighborhood, very different builders built those, and there are some vinyl siding homes. There are still a lot of homes that are very large. Maybe they have a basement. Some of them back up to creeks. But in general, there are a lot of trees, a lot of established feeling yards. It's just a very beautiful neighborhood and a wonderful location. Another neighborhood that comes to mind in Bowling Springs, if you're thinking about wanting to live within a short drive to the grocery stores, but not necessarily wanting to live right in the middle of Highway 9, Turtle Creek might be the neighborhood for you. Turtle Creek is very similar to the front part of Sterling Estates. Large lots, brick homes. I mean, there's homes that start at $500,000 and $400,000 in Turtle Creek, and there are many homes that have sold in Turtle Creek pushing $1 million. There are beautiful walking trails around that neighborhood. You can walk in the neighborhood any time of day, and it's just beautiful, very safe. You can drive across the street to a brand new Publix, or to an Ingles, or to 5 and 6 new restaurants like Super Chicks and Biscuitville right in front of Turtle Creek, as well as Sterling Estates. Both have beautiful pools and clubhouses. I know when I was younger, the clubhouses and the pools were great for birthday parties, family events. It's just a good amenity to have, and a lot of neighborhoods don't build that anymore. So if you're looking for something very established with perhaps more established homes, established yards, you might want to look at Bowling Springs, and you might want to look at Sterling Estates and Turtle Creek. I would say one of the most appealing things about looking for a home in Bowling Springs is the fact that it's not just a brand new suburb. It has been a very large suburb of Spartanburg for many, many years. True, in the last several years, we've gotten more of our own amenities that keep us from having to drive very far to go to grocery stores or fun stores or to find something to do. But there are many, many established neighborhoods that come with the benefits of that, right? So established yards, established neighbors, neighborhoods that you have a very long track record of the value, so you can kind of track, if you buy a house in this neighborhood, how you can expect it to appreciate in the time that you live there. Some of the neighborhoods that come to mind on a very normal, appeal to almost everybody kind of neighborhood would be Glen Lake in Bowling Springs. That's a gated community. It's a very large community with its own pool and pool house. It has walking trails and playgrounds and a neighborhood pond. Glen Lake has a lot of turnover, and there's a lot of different types of houses and sizes of houses in Glen Lake. But if you're looking for something that's well established, something that has good community amenities, Glen Lake might be the place for you. And it's gated, so that's another plus. Other neighborhoods like Farm Lake are even older than Glen Lake, even more established. Some of the houses in Farm Lake may even be on 2 or 3 acres, depending on what part of the neighborhood and what area of the neighborhood that you're in. Farm Lake is not a neighborhood that if you go down to downtown Spartanburg, everybody's going to know about. But once you're in Farm Lake, you'll realize it's very well established. It has some of the most convenient location in Bowling Springs, because if you're going up Highway 9, most of Farm Lake is going to be on your left, which means you can go the back way to Asheville Highway, which has its own restaurants and shops and things where you don't have to necessarily get in the hubbub of Highway 9 in Bowling Springs. One new amenity that people who've lived in Farm Lake for years, or that people who are moving there now get to take advantage of, is the fact that the new SuperTarget has been built right in front of it. So you can leave your entrance of your neighborhood and be at Target in just a few minutes. Also, there is a brand new QT in front of that Target and a brand new burger joint right in front of that Target. So you can pretty much go out, pop, grab lunch, grab groceries, and be back at your house within 30 minutes. So it's an awesome new amenity that neighborhood gets to enjoy. One thing that people sometimes ask me about when they're moving here is they want to live in an area where they can enjoy small businesses and small business owners. They don't necessarily want to live in a super commercialized area where they can only have the option of popping to Target or Hobby Lobby. They want to have some small businesses to be able to support. Bowling Springs is always going to be a place where small business thrives because it's a very community-oriented town. Some of the small businesses in Bowling Springs that come to mind are Traditional Charm, which used to be Primrose Galleries, which was a absolutely beautiful interior design and gift shop that was originally located in Inman, moved to Bowling Springs many years ago, and recently, under new ownership, became Traditional Charm. It's a great place to go for me to get closing gifts or for you to get any kind of gifts for any holiday, baby gifts. Right beside that, there's also Palmetto Twist, which is a very dynamic small business that does screen printing, and they can do t-shirts for baseball teams. They also have, just things that you can go in and pick up, more like a boutique. But in any event, if you ever need anything for your small business or you ever need anything custom done, Palmetto Twist is amazing. Fringe Hair Company recently moved into a new building, and they have a boutique, the salon, an esthetician, somebody who does manicures and pedicures, also a lean kitchen in there if you want to go and get your hair done, get a new outfit, get your Botox, get your nails done, and pick up a healthy lunch. You can do it all in that new space, which I think is pretty amazing for a small town to be able to support. Of course, anytime you're in Bowling Springs, you're going to have the option of utilizing these small businesses, but if you're thinking about moving here from somewhere else and opening a small business, Bowling Springs is definitely somewhere that I would consider. There's a lot of opportunity in Bowling Springs that is untapped, and I think that if you're considering investing your time and money into a community, Bowling Springs is somebody who always supports their own. If this video has you convinced that Bowling Springs might be the perfect place for you to move, or if you've never heard about Bowling Springs before and you want to find out about more areas in the upstate of South Carolina, take the quiz in the description below. That's going to help you find out what area might be perfect for you. Thank you for watching.